So, hello students. Today we are first time meeting for the online lecture. So, welcome to everyone. I have already given you the homework to write down all the chemical compounds, their formulae from the textbook of 10th standard. Why I started with this? Because we are going to start with the chemistry part of Science 1 10th standard. Okay students, so regarding that only, as said that our Science 1 textbook is designed from physics and the chemistry part. So both these faculties of science are included in the Science 1. So here we are starting our academic portion with the chemistry part of the Science 1 lesson. Of that we are going to start with lesson number 2, that is about the classification of elements. As we have already studied in our lower classes, that classification of elements will start with first of all the total number of elements. Okay, as we know earlier that there are in total 118 elements available. Now from those, some of them are available directly from nature and some of them are available from the laboratories which the scientists have made artificial. So like this, in total we have 118 elements. Now the question arises that why there is a necessity to classify the elements which are available. First of all, we'll understand that how the elements were basically classified. Now during 1800 century, there was or there were only limited number of elements, like say only 30 number of elements were there. And during that time, classification also was not so easy. Why? Because all these 30 elements were having different chemical, physical properties separately. Now the question arises that how all these number of elements can be separately studied along with their properties. Hence, for this purpose, classification of elements was necessary for this. And so, the first scientist whose name was Dobrenier, he was the first scientist who was successful in arranging the elements in the increasing order of their atomic weights, or say atomic mass. Now basically this is a fundamental property of every atom. We know that elements are having their single atom within them. Now the atomic weight means the mass or the weight of one single atom of every element. Okay students, so here what he did is, whatever number of elements were present during his time, he took all the elements, studied them separately, but basically the first fundamental property which he studied was about the atomic weight, or say atomic mass. Now when he arranged the elements in the increasing order, he first arranged all the elements one after the other in the increasing order. Like in our classroom, we are writing the names of the students in the increasing order of their roll numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Similarly, here he arranged the elements in increasing order of atomic weights. Now when he arranged, what he did was, he chose some elements which were having similar chemical properties. So while studying like this, he came to know that he is getting a group of 3 elements every time which were having similar chemical properties. Like this, he got second group of 3 elements, again third group of 3 elements. Likewise, he got many examples which were having similar chemical properties. Now first example we will see in this, that was lithium, sodium and potassium. Now why he took these 3 elements? Because they are having similar chemical properties. Now when he arranged them in this order, the atomic weight of lithium was 6.9, atomic weight of sodium was 23 and atomic weight of potassium was atomic weight of potassium was atomic weight of potassium is 39.1. Okay, so if we see 6.9 is the least one, then higher than that is 23, and 39 point, which is the highest among all these three, coming the third one. So likewise it was understood that the group of three elements arranged in the increasing order of atomic masses, that is 6.9, 23 and 39.1. So when he arranged these elements likewise, second group, that is calcium, strontium and barium. Third group again he got as chlorine, bromine and iodine. So here we are having three examples. Likewise he got many sets of three examples. Now when he studied about the properties and all, what he came to know is, in this part, what is calculation seen over here is that when 6.9 plus 39.1 added together and then average of what was taken, that came to be 23.0. That means the atomic weight of first element plus atomic weight of last element, taking average of those two and getting whatever number, that was actually the atomic weight of the middle element. So when he tried to find out with this same method for the second group, it successfully showed the same answer. Then again he tried the same method for the third group. Again for this group also he got the same answer. That means the addition, average of calcium and barium gave the atomic weight of strontium. Average atomic weight of chlorine and iodine gave the atomic weight of bromine. So that means he was getting confirmed that whatever I am doing the calculation are going to give the same results, and so because on that basis he made a law, and that law is called as Dobrynier's law of triads. Now why triads? Because it is a group of three elements. Henceforth the law is called as a triad. So what does the law say? That the average atomic weight of the first and the last element will give the atomic weight of the middle element. So like this, Dobrynier's law of triads came into existence. So if you have understood, you can go for the Can You Tell Me page number 16 from your textbook. There are some examples given like activity questions which you will be having in your paper also this year. Now what you have understood from the Dobrynier's law of triads, you have to apply it in the examples further given. Like as I said, page number 16, last line, there is identify Dobrynier's triads from the following group of elements having similar chemical properties. Okay students, so in that first example is of magnesium, calcium and strontium. In the same way you have to arrange the elements. Then magnesium is given 24.3 and strontium is given 87.6. So what you have to do is, you have to add these two atomic weights, divide it by 2, and whatever answer you are getting, that answer should approximately match with the atomic weight of the calcium. Okay students, same method should be followed for the second example and also for the third example. So when you calculate the answers and get the atomic weight of the middle element, if it matches, then it is obeying the Dobrynier's law of triads. If it's not matching, then it is not obeying the Dobrynier's law of triads. So what we have understood the concept in Dobrynier's law of triads, that only concept we are going to use in this, and that becomes an activity question. So this is also called as activity or say concept based question. Okay students, so here we complete the first law of Dobrynier, that is Dobrynier's law of triads. Now the thing is that as the science progressed, the number of elements started increasing day by day. And this person was again trying to obey or go through the same method what he had followed for these three sets. So but when he arranged the elements in the increasing order and tried to take the triad group again and again, but he was not successfully getting, or by following this method he was not going to get the same answers. That means this was clear that further this triad law was totally unsuccessful. Okay, so as it was unsuccessful, it was not followed hereafter in the future. So it was a total failure. Okay, so as it was a failure, there has to be done some other new type of study in the same stream. So as said, one scientist was a failure, then the other scientist continued with that same baseline. As this scientist did what? That he arranged the elements in the increasing order of atomic weight. Similarly, other scientists also started with the same baseline, that to arrange the elements first of all in the increasing order of atomic weight. Okay, so the other scientist, after this Dobrinius, the next scientist was Newland. Okay students, so next scientist, now during his time, of course, the number of elements were increased. Whatever were there present during Dobrinius, more than that were present during Newland. So this was the second scientist, whose name was Newland. He also arranged the elements in the increasing order of atomic weight. Now every now and then I am using the word atomic weight. I hope so that you are knowing what is atomic weight of an atom. If you remember, we have already studied right from 8th standard the atomic structure. Within that we have already studied that there are electrons, protons and neutrons. And while calculating this atomic weight, we need to consider only protons and neutrons and not electrons. So when we consider atomic weight, that is we are talking about protons and neutrons. Okay students, so here also whatever number of elements were present during his time, he arranged them in the increasing order of atomic weight, again one after the other in a higher rate. Now what he found was, again he also was having that same idea, that he made or wrote the names of the elements in this way. Okay, so what he found, that the property of the first element was matching with the property of the 8th element. Okay, so first to 8, in between of course 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. After 8, again the next, that means 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, that means see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and then 16th element with the same property. That means when he arranged the elements in the increasing order of atomic weight, he came to know that the properties of the first element, then property of the 8th element, then again property of the next 8th element were continuously repeating. So this shows what? That the properties of these elements were same, and henceforth his law came to be known as Newland's law of octaves. Okay students, so this law is called as Newland's law of octaves. Octaves, why? Octaves means number 8. Like in music, we say it starts from sa and ends again at sa. That means first and the 8th one. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, again 8th one, sa. So that is a group of first and the 8th one repeated same. So it is like the same thing. First property and the 8th element property were similar. Henceforth, he made his new law, that is Newland's law of octaves. But again, because of the same reason, he was also a failure because he was not able to again continue this same method of law for the upcoming new elements. It was a total failure. Okay, so this was not continued hereafter further, and henceforth again there was another scientist who continued with that same baseline and for the newly emerging elements. Because as science is just every time changing, or say with the basic efforts or the basic things, it is going to invent some new things or discoveries every now and then, because it is changing. As the new discoveries were going on, there has to be someone else to replace such scientists, or whatever they have done in this field has to be changed, but by some other way. So the next scientist, this was the second one. The third scientist who continued this classification of element was Mendeleev. Okay, so this we will study further, but so the first two scientists who contributed in the classification of elements were Dobrinier and Newland. Now, what are the expected questions which can be asked for specially these two? That is, first of all, state the Dobrinier's law of triads. So, whenever we are writing the law, it is also necessary to write one example related to this law. Even if it is not asked in the question paper, but it has to be written. Okay, so every time it won't be asked to write or to write down the example. So it's our duty that when the law is asked, definitely we are going to write one example. Now, as the examples are given in the textbook, you have to write the atomic weights also, because that are also included in the triad law. Okay, so that was Dobrinier's law of triads. Now the law is given on page number 16, that is in the Dobrinier's triads. That is from the second line, he made groups of 3 elements each having similar chemical properties and called them as triads. Then it starts again from the next line. In a triad, in an increasing order of atomic mass, it showed that the atomic mass of the middle element was approximately equal to the mean of the atomic masses of other 2 elements. Up till here the law writing is completed, and then supplement to that you can write one example which are given in the table given below. Okay. Now the Newland's law of octaves. How is the law stated? It's given on page number 17. In the first paragraph, he found that is on line 8th line. So we will start that every 8th element had properties similar to those of the first. So example again it is given along with that only. That is, sodium is the 8th element from lithium and both have similar properties. Okay. So here you can write the laws, and along with that you can also write the example. Okay. So students, today we have studied about the 2 important laws which can be asked as for 2 marks question. That means 1 mark for writing the law and 1 mark for writing the example. So I think so both these laws are clear to you, and hope so that you are going to write down the answers. That means today's homework will be to state the law and writing the example. 2 questions, that is state Dobrinier's law of triads with one example. Second question, stating Newland's law of octaves and writing one example. Plus on page number 16, can you tell, as said, I have already told you about this, that you calculate it and find out whether the triad is followed completely or not. Okay students, so if you have any queries regarding this matter, you can ask me on my personal number. Please don't mix everything within our common group, because it's not necessary that every student is having the same doubt or the query. Okay students, so if you have any queries, you can go and ask me on my personal number. I will definitely try to answer you. If you face any problem in finding the answers from the textbook, I have already given you in my this video that where you will find the answers, which line you will find out the answer. You please keep the textbook in front of you and then listen to me, and while listening to me, if you are not able to listen me properly, please use the earphones so that you can clearly get my words. I think so this is very well audible, but still if you face the problem, because this is the first session which we are facing, and henceforth there may be some technical problems and all, still we will try to rectify it. Okay students, I hope so that you have understood the topic, today's topic. So next lecture when we will meet, I think so I will be having the students with all their homework completed. Okay, now regarding writing the homework in which part, I think so that you are having some blank pages. Now the shops are closed, you won't get any books and all, and also it will not be available in the market. So it's better that you go for the last year's notebooks, the blank pages which are remaining, staple them properly, write the answers and make a single file so that you can put the or file them all together, because here right now we don't have any notebooks and all. So it's better that you go for those blank pages, write the answers, write the main subject, put today's date when we started with the first homework, and then we can continue. Okay students, so please continue doing your homework daily and ask your queries and doubts every time. Okay, thank you.